So Lucifer is the day star, not Christ. Christ is the star of David. Oh my, I don't think I ever revealed this to you the first time I was with you. That not, and I want everyone to hear me tonight. You see, the Star of David, and we'll get back to the assassination of history. The Star of David was not created by King David.
It has no mentions in the Bible.
The Star of David, not the six-pointed hexagram, hexagon sign. That symbol has nothing to do with King David of 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Chronicles, in the first chapter of 1 Kings. A false prophet, a false Messiah, in the early part of the 1100s AD, born in Iraq, but migrated to what is called today Iran. David Alroy, A-L-R-O-Y. David Alroy was not Hebrew, was not Haduata that we call Jew. He was not even a Khazarian, he was an Iraqian, but yet he designed the Star of David. Not King David, but David Alroy.
But for the purpose of what?
For the purpose of power, political power, spiritual power. But he knew, David Alroy, that the six-pointed hexagram, hexagon sign would transfer curses against his enemies, because he was also a general and a soldier. He was also a Muslim. Wait a minute now, wait a minute. The flag of the state of Israel has a symbol of a 666 hexagon, hexagram, septagon, octagon structure, not created by King David of the word of the Lord, but created by a Muslim, a Iraqian named David Alroy. We've been lied to. And so this term, Hillel ben Shakar, son of the morning, there's a Daystar television network. We've been in contact, my staff and I here in LA and in New York, has been in contact with them, oh Lord, for the past few years, and been asking them to change their name. Why? Because Christ is not the Daystar. Lucifer is called the Daystar. But why do we have a Christian, Christ-centered television network, major, making millions of dollars, calling themselves after the title in the nature of Lucifer, Daystar? It's not Christ. But they won't listen, because my people destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Hillel ben Shakar, or Hay mutation, Hillel that mutates as the morning, or that which is suffering, the morning. I don't say good morning. All part of the assassination of history. The letter J, and before we get to the history of the transatlantic slave trade, the letter J is also connected not just to Jesus, but in Luke 10:18 and Revelation 22:16, what the Vatican did post 325 AD conference, they wanted to amalgamate Christ to the title of his enemy, Lucifer, Daystar. In Luke 10:18, Revelation 22:16. You see, if you take away the letter J from Jesus and place his original letter of Y, Yeshua, the Daystar, Lucifer, has no connection to Yeshua. But if you subtract the letter Y and insert a dyslexic letter, an anomaly of J that wasn't not created until 1524. Then J, or for Jesus, becomes connected with the title of Morning Star. So the people think Morning Star is Christ. Well, that's the title of Lucifer. Christ, you see, when people take language, and that we call, there's a rabbinical, and what I'm about ready to say, it's not, won't find it anywhere in any lexicon on the earth. You won't find it anywhere online in any university, seminary, or cemetery. Another topic for another day. God spoke to me about the term pointology. He said pointology. A letter has points, like C, 1, 2, D, 1, 2, 3, E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The word of the Lord has 186 billion, 400 million points of each letter. Well, that's the speed of light, 186,400 miles per hour. The tribe of Judah was on the east. The tribe of Yehuda was on the east side of the tabernacle, 186,400 men, the speed of light. So the Star of David, Christ has nothing to do with that, and King David has nothing to do with that, because that's David Alroy, not a Hebrew, not a Yehoiada or a Jew, not a Khazarian, but an Iraqian. So the state of Israel, which has its incorporation status in London. Wait a minute now. So there's a difference between the nation of Israel versus the state. The nation of Israel are those ancient Israelites. The original Hebrew. We're talking about every Hebrew is a Jew, but not every Jew is a Hebrew. Israelite.
And vice versa.
And vice versa. That's it. And so an Israelite are those of the ancient nation of Israel. But today's Jews are not Israelites. They're Israelis. They're Semites.
Not Shemites.
Of the state of Israel that was created by the Western powers. Beginning, not just in 1948, but going back to the 1917 Balfour Declaration, through Sir Arthur Balfour, with money from Walter Rothschild, wanted to create a future state of Israel. Okay? Let's take people who were not born in that era, take them out of Turkey, the domain Jews, take them out of Mongolia, take them out of the central part of China, through the Han Dynasty, and we can also migrate them from Eastern, Central, and Western Europe, and let's stick them there. Today's Israelis absolutely have no legal nor spiritual legitimate claim to that land, because they were placed there through fabrication. They're not a fabrication. I'm not talking about the people. The political system of Zionism. It is a political fabrication. Well, the house is built in Turkey but moved to Palestine. Built in China but moved to Palestine. So our beautiful Israeli brothers and sisters, they have no legitimate claim to that land. But through the Balfour Declaration in 1917, which laid the groundwork, this is like a year before the end of World War I, which ended in 1918, but the 1917 Balfour Declaration, let's create the future state of Israel many years later in 1948 by first establishing a fabricated kingdom called the House of Saud or Saud. Saudi Arabia, the term Saudi Arabia is nowhere to be found in the scripture.
Saudi is the last name of all the royal families, right?
Right, Saudi or Saud, yes. Capital S-A-U-D or Saud. Those people are not true Arabs. They're not even Muslims. They're crypto-Khazarians. Now, what is a crypto-Jew or a crypto-Khazarian? They came out of central Turkey in 1401, and then down through the centuries, with the help of the Western powers, years later, decades and centuries later, from the United States, Great Britain, France, Germany, we need a fabricated kingdom called the House of Saud or Saud. A crypto Jew means publicly they're Muslims, Mohammed bin Salman, but privately they are Talmudic. In other words, see, that's another
wild.
It's wild, and I can't wait to come back. So the term Talmud, so you have the Babylonian Talmud,